everyone, and welcome everyone to our first ever episode of The Car Guys. I'm one of your hosts, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Mike.
And I'm Sean.
And today we're bringing you lots of different things, from car reviews to our personal opinions on cars, a bit of top tips, and of course, even though we are making episodes and we are filming this season, if there's anything you'd ever like us to include or like us to talk about, feel free to get in touch, and we'll be more than happy to take on board any of your opinions. But I've got to say, it's definitely good to do this now. I think it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it's long overdue, isn't it?
As I said, the thing I say is that we have discussions a lot anyway, so for us this isn't necessarily going to be anything different to what we would normally do if we were just sitting in the car talking about cars in general and stuff like that. So all we're doing is putting a camera in front of us and doing it in front of the camera, really. So it's nothing new for us, it's just something to bring to other people.
Like, the thing is, cars is all I know, and I know these two gentlemen, they love their cars as well. And all we talk about is cars. We could be in the gym and we're talking about cars. I could be getting my haircut and I'm talking about cars. So why not put a show together and call it The Car Guys and have three handsome geezers presenting it? We're just gonna find the three handsome geezers first. But it's true. But definitely, I hope you enjoy and welcome to the first episode of The Car Guys. Right, so me and Sean are gonna do this car review on this lovely car that we've got lined up.
Very lovely car.
And unfortunately, Mike, you can't come with us because we've run out of tea bags, and you know how important our teas are.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, mate.
It's fine, as long as you know it's Yorkshire tea bags.
PG tips, mate. It's gotta be PG tips.
It's gotta be Yorkshire's the finest. Do your research, I've done mine. Beans is on the tea, guy.
I think he's disrespecting the
Beans is on the
tea.
tea.
I wouldn't have it if I was you. I think someone
No, if you want Yorkshire tea, go to Yorkshire and drink it. But when you're in Birmingham, you drink PG tips.
Okay, who's going out to get the tea bags, me or you?
Yorkshire tea is there.
All I know is I'm hearing names getting disrespected left, right, and centre. I don't know, man. People need to stand up for themselves here, because and
the fact that
tea's not something to mess about.
You're representing another company in the video as well. They better pay us. They better pay us.
Oh, look at that!
Look at that.
He's giving out free promotion here already.
I know. Listen, send us some money whenever you're ready. Don't worry.
I should have put a black bag around that.
You're welcome. All right, you're welcome.
I want free unlimited hot drinks for life if you're watching. And okay, so right, Mike, if you don't mind jogging on, mate, go on, off you go.
See you in a bit, lads. Yorkshire tea bags.
Good luck,
mate. See you later.
And almond milk.
No more milk, mate. No more milk. Right, mate, should we get to it?
Let's go. Let's do this.
Right, so I've chosen to do a review today with Sean on this Mercedes C-Class Coupe. It's a 220 CDI AMG Sport Plus. Being the Sport Plus, it's got the red seat belts, the red stitching on the gear stick, and obviously we've got the bucket seats in there as well. What I do know is that I've had a quick look over the car, and the guy that owns this car is handsome, intelligent, very smart, brilliant business acumen. Did I mention handsome? And I've had a good look at the car, and I've just come to the conclusion that he's just a faithful, trustworthy geezer. And do you know the guy, Sean?
Well, it felt like you was describing me, but I don't actually own this car.
Almost.
So...
If I said tall, it would have been you. But actually, it's my car. That's how I've come to that conclusion.
Of course, that's why you come to that conclusion. Of course, it could be the only other reason.
So this review is very special to me. So let's start off and have a good look at the car. And let's get to it.
Check it out.
So I'm going to give you one of my tips, just one of my tips of the day. When you're buying a car, the first thing I look at is the tyres that the car's got. Now, I know this car's been looked after well because it's got the original Pirelli MOP0 tyres on there. the tyres kind of give away how that car's been treated. If the car's got the proper tyres on there, then you kind of know the maintenance would be just as good as the tyres on there. So just a small tip: when you're buying the car, first thing to do, check out the make of the tyres and check out how old they are. Kind of gives you an indication whether the car's been maintained properly or not. How about you, Sean? Your tip of the day?
Yeah, one of my tips is one that I found very useful when I was getting my car, is if you actually check out now online, you can actually check out a car's MOT history. So it's free to look at. You just put in Google MOT search or MOT history check. You put in the registration plate of the car. It'll actually bring up all the MOT history of the car. Very useful because you'll actually know exactly any issues about the car that it may have. If there's anything that the person who's trying to sell you the car has tried to lie about or tried to not tell you, you'll know about that, and it'll let you know whether the person who you're going to buy the car from is actually trustworthy, because you can see the history of the car yourself. And so that's very useful.
That's a very useful tip, and that's also a free check as well, isn't it?
So they don't charge you at all. I think it's a really good idea that they did that. Because there's nothing worse than you buying a car thinking it's in great condition, only to find out later on something's gone wrong, and then you've got to pay however much trying to fix the car, and sometimes trying to fix it can cost just as much as you're paying for the actual car itself. So it's a really great tool to use.
Definitely, and also something that people are aware as well, when you do that free Volvo check, don't take that as a HPI check. The HPI check and the free history check are two different things. When you are buying a car, please do the HPI, because that will show you if the car's got any outstanding finance, if any cars have had a loan taken out against it, if it's been damaged, repaired. Do all these checks, because unfortunately there are a lot of dodgy people and a lot of dodgy cars out there. But if you are looking for a good one, do all the checks and you should be 100% fine. Right, so we're inside my Mercedes C-Class Coupe. And Sean, you're in the driver's seat today.
Yes, I am.
Let's start by you. What do you think of it?
The first thing I'll say is, as soon as you sit in here, you do realise you're in a luxury car. I mean, you can just see from the whole layout, the feel of it in terms of how comfortable the chairs are, the whole display, everything about it, leather on the wheels, etc. You can definitely get that experience of, you are in definitely a luxury car. So it's definitely got a very good feel from the inside, to be honest.
Well, I got to say, when I first seen this car for sale, I said to my brother, you know what, whatever happens, I've got to buy that car. And I seen it, and you always know when you're buying a car, they make the car look like a model. We had the glass roof was open and all the lights are on. But I still, to this day, I mean, I don't get to drive it much. I drive it to the gym and back, and whatever. Most of the time it's parked outside my house. But when I do drive it, I always get the sense of when I first bought it, I still feel like $1 million every time I get in it. I know it's not a brand new one, but it's something that I've bought and I own. And it's just beautiful in every way I look at it. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, well, you've got the BMW Coupe and you've got the E90 3 Series Coupe and you've got the Audi A5, but to me, the Mercedes just kind of has it all. It kind of gives you the pizzazz, it gives you the elegance and the class. The Audi's A5 is nice, the BMW E90 is nice, but the Mercedes is kind of like at the top. To me, when I see someone pull up in a BMW Coupe or they pull up in an Audi A5, it's like, you're almost there. You're just not quite there, but when you pull up in the Mercedes, you're there. What's your view of that? Or am I just being snobby?
I mean, we all know that Mercedes as a brand is one of the higher class brands. So I would be a fool to disagree with you in that sense. I suppose you've got to think about, is it value for money? Can you afford to run it? That kind of thing as well. You've got to include these things because, like I said, it looks like a luxury car. It is a luxury car. So you've just got to remember, you are going to be running a luxury car, so make sure you've got a luxury budget to be able to afford to run it.
Being my own car, I love sitting in it, I love being a passenger, I love being in the back. The only downside I'd say to this car is in the back, even though you can put 2 grown adults in the back, you can only put 2 grown adults in the back, and they're not being a third seat in the back, which I suppose I can't really moan because I knew what I bought when I was buying it.
Yeah, and this is the thing, this isn't a family car. Again, it is a luxury car. It's not meant for these kinds of scenarios. So again, you kind of know what you're buying when you're buying it. You don't buy outside of your means. Understand that if you are gonna have this car, it is gonna cost a bit to look after, and that's where while I do completely agree with what you said about the car, just understand that is the thing that you are also buying. So make sure budget-wise you are looking at it like that, because you might not have the affordability for that. And so rather than you kind of thinking, okay, I'm going to get this car on finance and this is all I'm going to do,
to look after this car. It's going to take more than that. So if you can't really afford it, don't do it to yourself, because he's probably going to end up hurting you a lot more in the long run.
That's another tip I'd give. Don't ever put yourself on financial pressure over a car, because it's not worth it. Realistically, you know, as a man that loves cars, you know, I'll be the first one to admit cars are an absolute waste of money. You know what I mean? Buy one good car and make it last. I bought this car knowingly that it's got the same engine as the Mercedes Sprinter in there. And I've seen that engine do 600,000 miles. So for me, that's just going to the gym and back and whatever, and using it to take my son to football practice or whatever. For me, it was perfect. It looked the part. I know it can do the mileage. It's automatic. It's got a 7-speed gearbox. And for me, it ticks all the boxes. It's good on fuel. It's good on the motorway. So always live within your means when it comes to a car. But if you're looking for a luxury coupe, the Mercedes C-Class coupe or even the E-Class coupe, definitely be the one that I'd like to own. So,
yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna knock down all my fellow BMW drivers. I say that like I've got a BMW, I haven't, but you know, the BMWs are nice as well, man.
Yeah.
You know, can't completely take that away from them.
Yeah,
but,
it's true.
Again, I can't act like this isn't a nice car. And
Yeah.
I would dare say it is one of the top end like types of luxury cars.
Well, I suppose the main question is, would you buy one?
Okay, so for me, I'll be honest with you, I'm the guy who likes to look at what I can afford and what's within my means. If I had the money and I knew I could look after it, yes.
That's all I need to hear.
Yes, but what I will say is, I would be someone who would look at the same kind of budget that I've got, and I would see if there's anything else that could. Yeah. So I'm not going to say I'd be completely sold on it. I would definitely be looking at having it. I would just say that I would check to see if there's anything else out there for the same price that may be, let's just say, for example, more eco-friendly, maybe cost less in terms of petrol, diesel, whatever, you know, that kind of thing. But if I had the money, if I did have the money and it wasn't an issue, yeah, of course. All right, so while Aaron's gone for a piss, let me just give you some real lowdown on this car. Okay, first thing I want to talk about, it's a beautiful car. No one's going to ever deny that. Anybody will look at this car and say it's beautiful, but it's expensive. You're paying for it, very expensive. Now me, being a person who hasn't got a great budget for cars like this, no, I'm not having it. I'm not having it personally. First of all, let's look at the doors, right? So I'm going to tell you now, I'm about to be a father. My missus is pregnant, so we've got 2 doors. I mean, at the end of the day, my missus has got a big stomach. She's growing. She's getting my little one in there. How the hell am I meant to get the shopping in here? How am I going to have my little one trying to get in with the car seat? She can't fit in there. It's too big. It's way too big. Like, if I open this door now, I've then got to, like, pull open the chair, pull it forward, try and get my daughter in there. It's just not practical. So in that sense, again, it's not great. If you're going for luxury, cool. But if you're not, bit of a hindrance. If you're looking to have a family or anything like that. The tyres, look how big these tyres are, man. Like, all I see here when I look at this is expensive, pricey, pricey, pricey. All I'm seeing is money when I look at this car. You know, it's a money car. It's a very big money car. So again, I'm looking at this and I'm a bit like, the wheels are big. So it probably means that the money's big to actually pay for the wheels, you know? It's like, this doesn't look cheap to me. This doesn't look cheap. Even here, the brake pads, stuff like this. It's all looking expensive. Okay, again, the roof, right? I'm going to tell you something here now. This is secretly between us guys. I don't like birds. I hate birds. This isn't much, yeah? It might not look like much, but if a bird was to happen to just shit, it could go on my head. On my head. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. I don't like birds, so I don't want them around. I don't want them getting on top or anything while I'm driving or trying to peck my head through the sunroof. I don't want none of that. I'm not feeling it, not at all. So again, can't work for me. I know it sounds great. I know you want to have your hair just blowing in the wind as you're driving. There's some negatives to that as well, okay? So not a fan of that. Okay, now let's get to the boot. Again, I've got a missus, she's pregnant. Am I getting a pram in here? I don't think so, man. I don't know, man. It looks all right from here, but how spacious is it really? I have to question that. I'm not very sure.
Hold up. What's going on here?
I'm just talking a bit about the car. That's all. Just
Yeah,
you
but
know,
why
just.
do you film when you say bad things about
No.
it?
I was just saying about the space. That's it. That's
Mate,
that's all.
what
That's
are you
all it
on
was.
about? You can't fit a pram in there.
I don't think you can fit a pram
Mate,
in
if I
there.
had 4 kids, I could put 4 prams in there.
What? I
Mate,
don't.
mate.
I think you're dreaming there,
Mate, if I was a mafia boss, I bet I could put a dead body in the back of there.
You could not put a dead body in there.
Oh my God.
If I was a mafia boss, I'm telling you now, my legs are all out and like this, and you're trying to slam the door down.
You're 7 foot tall. I'm talking about a normal person, yeah.
Okay, all right. I still don't think it's big
Alright.
enough.
You know what? Just to prove it to you, I'm gonna go in the boot myself.
You're gonna go in the boot. You think you can fit in that?
This is my car. This is my Diana. This is my baby Diana. You know,
All right, let's see if you can do it. Let's see if you can do it. Go on. Oh my God. Okay. Wait. See, now I actually feel like a mafia boss. All right, I want to just close this for a second. Let's see if this actually works.
This is like a 5-star hotel.
We're not letting him out. Don't tell him anything, but we're not letting him out. I hope you're alright now, mate. I'll see you tomorrow, mate. Hey, alright, listen. Maybe I stand corrected on the space. But still, a lot of other points I feel were valid, so just keep that in mind, okay? Okay, so how was that? Hey man, I stand corrected, alright. I'll take that one, because that was just...
5-star hotel in there. I had room service, I had everything. I had a couple of women coming and giving me a massage, you know what I mean?
Mate, that was worth it to be wrong, just to see that actually happen, to be honest. I'll take the loss on that one. That's fine.
You got to apologise to Diana.
Hey man, hey, I apologise, man. I apologise.
So we're going to wrap up on this review for now, and we're going to get back to the office and see what Mike's got to say. And we'll see how Mike feels about me being in the boot of the car, and I'll let him know how spacious
That's
it was.
going to be fun for him to see.
Yeah,
That's
if
be
anybody
very
wants to
fun
come
for him
and stay
see.
in my hotel in the boots, it's £50 a night. You know, you get room service, it's dark, you ain't got to worry about no light coming in or nothing like that. But if you're scared of small spaces, go somewhere else.
Hey, I know if I ever have an argument with my missus, I know where I'm coming now. Don't worry about that, I know that much.
Definitely.
Ah, mate. You'll never guess what I got Aaron to do.
Talk to me, talk to me.
I knew he would fit in, right? But I was just talking about the boot of the car of the Mercedes.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I'd say a little something about the boot because I know that's a game, a bit personal, a bit touchy. He actually went in the boot of his car and I locked him in.
Please stop listening to me.
Hang on. You know, give me some...
Who let him out? Who let him out?
Listen, it was lovely in the boot of that Mercedes. You know what I mean? Don't ever
I hope
talk
you
about
had
Diana like that again. You know
I
what
hope you had fun in there, mate, because I had much fun seeing
Mate.
you go in there.
I got something for you as well.
Go on. PG tips.
Ah, you folded.
Mate,
You folded, man.
as Del Boy says, you know it makes sense.
Only because there was no Yorkshires on the shelf. So you win today.
Hey, what's coming soon? PG Tips versus Yorkshire Tea, the debate.
I tell you what, beans as I've done the shop run, I'm not putting the kettle on, so that's one of these. Like, you ready?
We'll debate that
We'll
later.
debate that.
That'll be a next
But I
time.
gotta say, you gotta admit, the Mercedes is a beautiful car.
Hey, I'm not denying it at all, man. It's a beautiful car. It definitely is a luxury car.
Yeah.
It feels like a luxury car. It drives like a luxury car.
And I can
It's
vouch,
not luxury,
the
no.
boot is big enough for your shopping, for a human body, for a pram, for anything, for all you need really.
Yeah, so we're not promoting no mafia people here who
No,
need to
no,
buy
no,
cars
no,
for
no,
their activities. But if they needed to.
If you needed to, you could put a body in the boot.
Yeah.
Just saying,
Yeah.
So not that the police should stop every Mercedes driver and check the boot, because you probably shouldn't. But just don't stop me. I don't mind to stop anybody else.
I don't think that's going to happen now.
As I said, I think we started the proud presidency on the show already.
No, but definitely the boot is big enough for all you need. And even though it's a coupe, you can put 2 grown adults in the back.
Yeah, it's quite a big coupe.
Yeah, I will say it does. After doing a bit of testing with it, it is a bit more spacious than I originally seen. I think when you look at it from the outside, you might be a bit deceived into thinking it is going to be kind of squashed and uncomfortable, but it's not actually that bad, to be fair. So again, I was kind of proven wrong in that sense.
Yeah, and I just want to clear something up as well. I mean, You did say quite a few negative things about Diana.
It was a negative.
And you know how strongly I feel about Diana.
Okay.
And I just want to, I just want to clear a few things up. There's something you said that doesn't quite make sense. So I just want you to watch this and let me, kind of understand what you're saying.
Okay, let's have a look. Hold on.
In your rant.
I'm about to be a father. My missus is pregnant, so we've got 2 doors. I mean, at the end of the day, my missus got a big stomach. She's growing. She's getting my little one in there. How the hell am I meant to get the shopping in here? How am I going to have my little one trying to get in with the car seat? She can't fit in there. It's too big.
So, I can't put my shopping or my missus in because the car's too big.
Trust you
What
to find
a
that.
dilemma! Oh
Trust
my
you to find
god!
that.
How would I put my stuff into a car that's so big and useful?
OMG, SMH. Listen.
Right, so it's good to have some big things, you know what I mean?
I kind of misspoke there. What I meant was it was too small. That was what I was saying. I got a little ahead of myself. I was saying it was too small. That's what you all know what I meant. You all know what I meant.
Mate, if you're gonna come and you're gonna insult somebody's vehicle, come correct it. That's all
Next time I'm gonna have them ready, prepared. I'm gonna have a list.
Only this
I'm
guy
gonna go
can find that.
scripted.
Only this guy
Listen,
can
when
find
you're
that.
when you're taking a biscuit out of somebody's motor, he's gonna sit there with a few tears coming out of his eyes, you know what I mean? And he's gonna think, oh my god, he's actually complimented it there, but it's gone down as an insult.
I said, I'm human, alright? I make mistakes, okay? I'm sorry that I'm not perfect, okay?
I've got to admit, I do like the 7G gearbox. But I've always felt as though sometimes it can be a little bit robotic, the gearbox, especially when it's cold. And I think that's just all diesel automatics in general anyway. But apart from that, I just think it's an absolutely awesome car. And it's such a pleasure to do the
Does it
review.
really need 7 gears?
Why have the new ones got 8 and 9-speed gearboxes?
It's ridiculous.
It's all about
it's one of those things though, isn't it? When is that going to end? They're always trying to improve them to the next
It'll be
big
12
thing.
and
And
13 before you know. Anything over 6 is
Eventually,
gotta
it
get
will be like
better.
it will be like that car. I think it's the Koenigsegg. That's only got 1 gear and an electric motor.
Alright.
It will just be electric motor and the gearbox, 1 gear. You go and you stop. I don't think there'll be any more gear changes anymore. And I think the days of manual cars are coming to an end, especially so many electric cars, because they won't work off a manual gearbox.
Yeah.
They'll only work off an automatic gearbox.
Well, if we go by, just this is more UK that we're talking here than the global, they've made a plan that they do want to make electronic cars.
Yeah.
The thing, it's a good while, it's like 2040 or something along those lines. So, as you say, if that is the case, and as you say, you do notice the shift that more cars now are becoming auto. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of seems like they're slowly phasing out the whole manual, the manual thing.
And also, I just had to add, obviously you're more than welcome to voice your opinions, but if you're making electric cars, why are you only making them where the charge is so small, where I can't even go to London and back without having to recharge it? Why don't you make the roofs a massive solar panel? So when it's sat outside all day, it's taking a charge.
That's
so
a genius idea.
When you're not driving it, it's taking a charge. But then I think the car will run for nothing.
You need to patent that idea. You need to patent that idea because some people might see that right now. That literally
Mate, I
could
haven't got
be
the
the
finances
next.
to do it.
That
If
could
I
be
did,
the next
I'd
big.
do it. But then it works out.
Just patent the idea though. Patent the idea before someone comes out with it, man.
But I think
you could sell that to companies.
True, but I think they won't do it because then no one's going to fill up the car, no one's going to pay for electricity because everyone's driving their car for free. No road tax. Everyone will be driving the car for free, and all you really have to pay for is tyres and maintenance. But
that's true.
Road tax and stuff like that, you wouldn't be paying for. Would you be paying for fuel? No road tax.
Yeah, I do think that should be we've kind of done that on a side note, but I do think that should be a whole discussion.
But I tell you what will happen. I reckon if they do it, they'll make you pay for the roof separately. So if you lease the car, you've got to lease the roof separately. There'll be something because if you're not putting fuel in the car, they want to make the money on tax the other way.
Yeah.
So anywhere they'll do it, they'll find a way of making the money.
Petrol and diesel is a huge business for a lot of companies, and if you take that out the fold.
I don't think they'll ever stop making petrol cars, no matter what they do. I don't think they can. I don't think they can stop making petrol cars.
Hopefully not.
So because then once you do that, you've taken the soul out of driving. Electric cars. Where's the fun? Where's the soul of the car?
It's like what you're saying.
The soulless.
Taking the soul out of driving. I think that's what happens when you go too
far.
automatic. No, automatic. I've got a lot of love for manual.
I agree.
He's shaking his head at me.
We've had this discussion before, and it's like
we've had it before.
I'll be honest and say this now. Like, I don't really drive a lot of automatic cars. The cars that I've got is a manual, so I'm more used to manual. So I haven't had that. A lot of people say, you know, once you go automatic, that's it kind of thing. So I haven't really had that position yet. But I really enjoy manual driving. Like, I genuinely feel like it's an art form. So for me, I enjoy that experience of doing it. And I agree, as Aaron has said before, if you're in traffic, it's a nightmare. Then it is, and you stop starting. It definitely is. But when you're just genuinely driving, to me, it's an art form, and I really do. I like it.
Oh, I see. I understand.
I'm enjoying this car.
I see that these. All I think is these people start to do a lot of this. I think, and you know, considering that they're both, you know, swinging both ways, maybe. That's why. I could only possibly imagine this is what they like to do.
The only thing I see both ways is the steering wheel lanes. Alright. That's it. Nothing else.
Sounds a bit strange, but yeah, we'll let that one slide.
Listen, trust me, mate. The less of this and just the more of this.
And the topic I want to bring up now is what cars you've had and what car you miss.
Okay.
Let's go.
Car I had, or should I say have, I'll go with my current car. It's a Peugeot 107.
Nice.
Love it. Really great economical car. I'm the economical guy. I'm all about cutting down expenses. Yeah, it's cheap to run. It runs very well. Petrol doesn't cost a lot to run it. Tax is low. I genuinely really do. If you are someone on a budget and you are someone who wants a car that is going to do you well, and still kind of be able to have a good running car, I would 100% recommend them. And the only thing I will say as a negative is if you're after a spacious car, you might want a bigger car because it is kind of small. But other than that, I think it's great. And car that I miss would be I had a Volkswagen Polo back in the day, which I did really like at the time. Beautiful car, ran really smooth. And yeah, just again, it was a good performance car, and it was cheap to run. Like I say, I'm all about cutting costs where necessary. So again, these are two great cars that were right up my alley, and they both did me and do me well. So.
How about you, Martin?
For me, well, current car, certainly on 1.9 diesel.
The best engine they ever made, the 1.9 diesel.
Best, did you hear that?
The best engine they ever made was that 1.9 PD engine.
He hardly agrees with me, so this is quite good.
I'm glad this is on camera because there's not many times that we'll actually see that. So
yeah, the car is good to me. I don't have no problems with it. I don't think I even want to change my car for now. It's ideal for me, family wise. 4 doors, everything about the car is perfect for me. Cars I miss, there's a long list, but the top one is probably Rover, Tomcat Turbo, super chipped. The noise was just, it was crazy. I wish I could have it back.
You know what? Them things are probably worth a lot of money now.
Yeah, if you had one of them now.
And if it's in pristine condition, you're talking dough.
You're talking a lot of money,
You're
ain't you?
talking dough, yeah.
You won't see them about anymore, but yeah, that's the car that I miss. The car I sold. And the person I sold it to, he just ran it into the ground.
it's a damn shame when you hear that.
I don't know.
It's a shame we can't go back. We've got to look forward, so yeah.
Right, so this is my turn.
It's your turn, get the lovely start now.
Well, if I had a scroll, I could hold it up to here and it'd fall down to the ground. I'm a car man. You know what? I think the majority of the cars, I mean, there's been a couple of old that I've given back in the day because I've just not liked them. But I think when I first truly had my first proper sports car, which was, I had a W Reg, it was a 2000 Audi TT Quattro. the old shape, the original shape.
Yeah.
And I think I was 21 or 20. I think I was 21 at the time. And for me, it was just like amazing because I had like 225 brake horsepower. It was 4-wheel drive because it was quattro. It had the bolt sound system, and I remember picking that car up from Leicester and driving back thinking, "Oh my God, I've made it." You know what I mean? That's literally what you think when you're at that age. And I just think it was absolutely phenomenal car. But cars that I love, I've got to say Diana. I really do. I just think she ticks all the boxes. Great engine, great gearbox, great looking body, panoramic roof, and it's a white Mercedes Coupe. You don't say anymore. And she's called Diana.
Nice.
So yeah, that's my cars that I miss and the cars that I love. So hope you'll join us for the next episode, which hopefully you'll be seeing next week. And hope you enjoy the season that we create. But for now, everyone, I'm Aaron.
Mike.
I'm Sean.
And everyone take care.
Peace.
Drive safe.
Drive safe.